Hi, Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and today I have a review of the Superior 24 color master level watercolor set that I purchased on Amazon. You guys, the set was only $9.99, and you know how hard it is to find decent watercolors at under $10. You're going to be so excited to see this review because I think you're really going to be pleased with the results that I got from this set. Now, just a reminder, if you do use any of our links in the description, it does support our ministry. Sometimes we get a little commission, and we thank you so much in advance. I did purchase these with my own money, so this isn't a sponsored video at all, but I did want to get a watercolor set that I thought would be really affordable for you guys to take a peek at and see what you think. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I picked up the Superior Master Level Solid Watercolor 10 on Amazon for only $9.99. I was super excited about getting it in the mail so that I could do a review for you. It's so hard to find any kind of medium or anything to use really for Bible journaling under like the $10 mark. So I wanted to make sure that I could find something that I could be confident in recommending to you guys to at least get you started in watercolors. So the way this actually comes in a nice, like really nice solid packaging here. And then as you open it up, it comes with this really beautiful teal case. It's got the word Superior on it in stickers, so if you don't like that, you can just take it off, I think. And then it comes with a little cloth here that you can use maybe to clean off your brushes or for whatever it is that you might need. It's like a little microfiber cloth. And then as you look at the case itself, the case is actually really nicely made. It does have a little ring on the back for you to kind of put your finger through it and hold the pan while you're using it if you want to. I usually just set it on my desk though. As you open up the pan, you have nice little wells here to do any kind of mixing that you want to do with your colors. You also have some wells on the side. One thing that I thought was really neat is they include this little swatch card in here. And so with the swatch card, it's actually watercolor. And I think I can do some swatches on this for you as well during our review. Each of the watercolor little pans actually is comes in a little case, and then basically what you do is you just remove the little sticker here to display the actual watercolor. So you can just come in here and just take that off. I've got my nails on today, so I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors to get them off. And one of the things that I like to do is when I'm peeling them off, I like to put the little sticker on the bottom, and what that does is it allows me to remember which color this is, so I don't ever forget. Like if in case for some reason I would want to know what color this was, I can come back later and look at it. So that is an option. So this one here is tree green, so I'll swatch that one out for you and we can see what that looks like. Just grab my water here and just kind of get those watercolors wet here. And then I'm going to go ahead and swatch this out on the tea green. Where is the tea green? Emerald green. Oh, it's all the way up at the top here. So I'll just swatch that out for you. And boy, is that a beautiful color. That's actually pretty impressive at this price range. So I'm going to go ahead and open all of these up and then swatch them out so we can see what they look like, and I'll be right back. Oh, okay, so I have swatched out all of the colors, and you guys, I mean, this is amazing. All of these beautiful colors at this price point just really, I mean, it just is amazing. So I'm going to do a little watercoloring here just to kind of see how it reacts. All right, so I'm going to just do a quick little splash of color in my Bible using these colors. Just because, you know, you might be wondering, like, how does it work in your Bible, and can I even use it in my Bible? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me just get my swashes out so I know which colors I want to grab, and I'm going to go ahead and hop to that. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some of these colors to my page. Beautiful green. Love this green. I am loving this set. Now this is not, we're not doing Bible journaling right now, guys. I'm just teaching you, not teaching you. I am just showing you these colors just to test them out, just so you can decide if this is maybe something that you want in your stash of supplies. So I'm just coming in, I'm just adding colors here and there. I'm gonna grab some yellow too. And I'm just loading up my brush, and I am getting the colors to kind of blend a little bit in some places. Oops, curling edge. And I'm just laying down colors just to hopefully give you an idea if this will bleed through, or if I never have watercolors bleed through, but I usually get this question all the time, so I just want to make sure I answer that. All right, so let me just add a little bit of black. I'm just going to drop some black in here just randomly. It's just so we can see how, if that bleeds through, which it won't, but we'll try it anyways. Now I've got just a nice little background here, pretty watercolor background. If you are in our Momentum program, we do have a whole watercoloring course for you. Make sure that you go to one of the first courses we ever released if you are in Momentum and you want to learn more about watercolors. I'm going to go ahead and dry this up. We'll be right back. All right, let's take a look. In terms of quality of color, I think it's a really beautiful color. I think it's pretty vibrant, the colors that at least the ones that I've chosen. In terms of buckling, it lays down, the page will buckle because I'm adding water to it, but it's not too intense. So that's great. In terms of bleed through, you're not seeing any bleed through. I did have a little bit of yellow here because the page curled as I was painting, so that's why there's yellow there, but there's no bleed through on the other side, so that's a plus. In general, I think this works really, really great for Bible journaling. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my expensive Kurtaki ones and just see how they hold up next to it, and just see, if they would be okay. Of course, you always get what you pay for, but maybe, you could, instead of buying a very expensive set, you could just get away with something like this, especially if you're just doing it not, professionally or anything. Like, if you're not selling things, we can use all kinds of paints and things like that. So let's go ahead and do some just little scenes or something. Also, I wanted to let you know that you can take off each of these. Sometimes has a little bit of a sticker on it. You can take your fingernail and just kind of scrape that sticker off if you want to, or you can just wait, and over time it'll just lift off with the water. So it's entirely up to you if you want to spend the time to do that. I haven't done that right now. So what I like to do is just kind of look at the swatch and kind of decide which colors I like. One thing that I loved about the way they set this up was that the colors were all in order, so I didn't have to rearrange anything based on the color swatch. So really, the colors, they are all in alignment here. And what's good is if for some reason I drop this and the pans fall out, I actually place the stickers that say what they are on the back of the little pan, so I'll know exactly what color I'm using, especially if they all get mixed up. But I loved how that they were all in order, so I didn't have to worry about what colors do I want. Maybe this is upside down, I don't know. But I have all my colors here ready to go, and I can just choose the one that will work for me. So I just have, this is just a baking mat that I put down. It's a craft sheet, pretty inexpensive. I get 5 of these for $10 as well on Amazon, so that's a good deal. All right, so let me go ahead and start with a little yellow background. I think I want to use the KDM yellow medium, so I'm just going to come in here and grab some of that on my paintbrush. And I'm just going to start with a really nice light yellow background. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend in some of the orange, some of this Indian yellow here. Looks kind of a little more orangey. And I'm going to go ahead and just see how that blends together. And this is just watercolor paper that I'm using. It's Canon watercolor paper. Just to kind of swatch these out for you on watercolor paper. That was my intent. All right, so then I'm going to grab a little bit of I think the, looks like Madder Red is what it's called. So I have to go 1, 2, 3 down. Wow, it's hard to tell sometimes with these colors. Are you picking the right color? And then I'm just going to add that to the background and just kind of see how they all just nicely blend together. It's just really beautiful. So that's nice. I can create a little card background here for someone. And then let me go ahead and let that dry for a minute. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab, actually, I wanna add a little more. This is just a little bit too light for me. So I'm gonna come in with some extra, some more watercolor here. And I just thought that was just a little bit too much water there. And then I just want to blend that in. It's a little bit too bright now, but that's okay. Let me just kind of lift some of that up with my paintbrush. That's the thing about watercolors, is you can come in and sometimes lift color with a little bit of water. And I lost that orange, so I want to bring some of that back. And you know, this is just something that I do. Like if I'm just sitting here making cards for someone, I can just come in here and play with my watercolors and just have a lot of fun with it. Art, I think, should be fun. And if it's not fun, why are you doing it? Let's have fun. So I just think that's really beautiful. We'll let that dry for just a minute and pick up another piece of watercolor paper so that we can try some of the other colors. All right, so I'm gonna grab, let's see. And another thing you could do is if you wanted to, you could write down the names of these like on the side here with a permanent marker. That would be fine as well. But I'm not going to. But it is kind of hard to figure out where one ends and one begins. So one thing I might want to do is take a little bit of a note here that just kind of shows me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would be like the end of the first card. And if I just do a little bit of a acrylic paint there, that'll dry, and then I can know that that's the end of the paint card. And then I can do it again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I know that is the end of that paint card. And that way I can kind of keep things in my head. I don't have to be like, okay, if I want purple, I don't have to keep counting all the way down. So let me just grab some of this really beautiful, looks like violet. Okay, and because I now have the little line there, I know that's the purple and that's the violet. If you have an easier way to do that, let me know. I would love to know what you do to kind of help yourself with stuff like that. Trying to figure out what the colors are. So I'm just adding a little bit of water here to this paint, to this watercolor paper. And then I want to come in and bring some purple as well. Just testing out the watercolor here. And just spreading that along the paper here. I've got nice little blending going on here on the side. And then what I might want to do is just kind of drop some different colors in here. So let me just grab maybe some of this blue, maybe some of this blue here, which is, it looks like France Ultramarine, okay? And since that's the new card, I know that it's 1, 2, 3 down. So you see how things like making little lines and stuff can help you identify where things might be. So I'm just going to drop in some of this blue and just kind of see how it moves and reacts. And it looks really nice. It's doing really good. It's exactly doing what I expected it to do. And it's just kind of fun. So I hope that whenever you guys are doing your art or when you're Bible journaling, that you're just enjoying the time. All right. So that's a really pretty watercolor background. All right, that looks great. Maybe I'll add a little bit of black here. Maybe some of this ivory black. That's the last one. So I think it's right here. And I'm just gonna drop a little bit of that just in a little pattern. And hopefully it doesn't bleed too much, but I love that. That's pretty just like that. So I'm gonna set that aside, let that dry for a minute, come back and finish off this really pretty watercolor scene that I've got going on here with a little bit of blue. I think this Prussian blue would look really, really awesome. And so I know the Prussian blue is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since that's 8, that's 4, then Prussian blue must be at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. What other tricks can you guys share with me on how you organize your watercolor pans? I'd love to know what you do. So I just added a little bit of this beautiful blue, just kind of creating a little bit of a sea background here. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my Kuretake colors just to kind of show you guys like a little bit of the difference. All right, so I want you guys to be able to, you know, see the difference, and maybe you can be happy with, you know, a $10 set instead of, you know, whatever this is running these days. I bought this set, geez, I think I bought this Kuretake set 5 years ago, and it still performs, guys. It's still, like, I'm almost done with the yellow. I love yellow, as you can clearly see. Yellow and pink. All right, so I'm going to try to mimic as best I can the colors. Now, I'll probably get them off, so don't judge the color. What we're trying to do is judge the quality of the paint itself. So I'm going to come in here, grab some of this yellow, make a nice little yellow background, and hopefully you guys will be able to, you know, decide if, you know, do I want to save up my money and buy a real expensive one? Do I want to just give it a shot now with the budget that I have right now and just start working with watercolors with a cheaper pan? Or you might just like it the way it is, and, you know, you don't ever need to get an expensive one if you don't want one, you know? But I get so many questions from, you know, new artists and Bible journalers, and they're asking, you know, what can I get in my price range? And I really wanted to spend some time and research for you guys. What are some things that you can buy that are not expensive? And so I hope that this one works out well, and we'll be able to tell in just a minute. Okay, so that's that one. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the blue as well. One thing that I do here with my Kuretake is I've got my swatch here on the side, and it matches up perfectly, so I can tell like which colors I want to use. And that's just really nice. So I'm going to come in here and grab some of this one. Right here. One thing I like to do when I'm starting to work with watercolors is I like to get my pans, the colors that I'm going to use. Ooh, look at that. That's gorgeous. The way that just kind of flowed in like that. Ooh, I love that. Well, I would just leave that the way it is, but because I'm trying to do I'm trying to do similar effects, I'm gonna just kind of work that in. I love just how it's spread out like that. Just beautiful. Just have fun with what you're doing. Look at it just spreading the what, I mean, it's just, whew, that is cool. That effect is amazing. Okay, so let's let that kind of dry for a bit, and then we'll come back and compare the two. Now, again, huge difference in price, huge difference in price. So I don't want you to feel like, you know, I can't do any watercoloring because I can't get the most expensive set on the, you know, or one of, not the most expensive set, I shouldn't even say that, but a pricier set. I want you to, you know, just do with what the Lord has provided in your hand today. So use what God's provided you, and then, you know, save for a more expensive set later. Why fret about these things, you know? We just have fun with what God's provided today. So I'm coming in here with this. I'm going to just add a little bit here, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab some purple as well. I'll do this one over here just to kind of give a little bit of a difference, just to kind of show similar colors. Of course, it's not going to be the same, right? Because these are different paints, different sets. But you get the point, right? That's the point. I want to just show you guys the difference. Just gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to come in now with some black little dots. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just kind of a little pattern of dots down the edge, and we're going to let that dry for a minute. Okay, so we're going to see how things go as they start to dry. All right. So once again, these are my Kuretake watercolors. I've had these for about 5 years. Love them. Use them often. As you can see, they're starting to crack and break apart and kind of get used over time. And I always recommend, if you have the budget, to buy these. These are the ones that I really just love. But when I'm on the road, or if I'm, traveling, I like the smaller compact ones, and so then I'll get something like one of these sets here just to bring with me when I'm traveling. Let's go ahead and see how these are doing. I'm going to speed up this video so that we can come back and do the comparison here in just a minute. All right, I'm back. I did another swatch of colors here on the Superior tint against the Kuretake color, because I thought when I was comparing these, I didn't have a bright enough yellow in the Superior tint, so I went ahead and added some really bright yellow into the middle just to kind of compare it. Even though I know they're not the same colors, I just wanted you guys not to think that because this was a little bit more faded that there weren't bright colors in this tint. So I mean, all in all, these are the ones that I did with my Kuretake set, which I love, and these are the ones I did with my Superior tint, which I also love. The difference in price is huge. So if it were me and budget was something that was on my mind, I would most definitely get the $10 tin set, because there's not really much of a difference between the two, at least that I can see with my somewhat decent eyes these days. But I would love to know what you think in the comments in terms of comparing the two. Do you find that the Kuretake is worth the extra money, or do you think that you would then prefer to purchase one of the cheaper sets like this one that's only $9.99? I don't know, guys. This looks pretty good. I mean, I even got some of the, effects that I had gotten with the Kuretake. I started working it with the Superior and got the same similar effects. So you guys, I really believe that for $9.99, this is the best watercolor set available on Amazon. So I hope that you'll give it a try and let me know in the comments what you think. I hope this review was helpful and you have a beautiful day. Goodbye.